Welcome back. Previously, we were discussing about job creation and other employment opportunities creation in worker-owned cooperatives. Let us continue with that. Next area, labor contracting cooperatives. Labor contracting cooperatives. These cooperatives have members who offer their labor as a group to entrepreneurs, especially building contractors. They were prominent in Asia but almost unknown to Africa. History reveals that in India, this type of cooperative was promoted by armed forces after the Second World War to help the demobilized soldiers get back to a civilian life. After that, federal government applied the scheme to landless laborers and granted labor contracting cooperatives a preferential treatment. From Guinea Conakry, the International Labour Organization came to know for the first time about an example of labor contracting cooperatives in Africa. It was formed by some ex-employees of a privatized water supply company to offer pipe fitting services. Africa would have tapped a great job creation potential from labor contracting cooperatives by adapting to the experiences from various Asian countries. The next non-traditional area is trade, transport and services. Worker-owned cooperatives in these three sectors gained a very feeble voice in Africa. In Benin, a community health clinic was formed by 10 primary level provider owned health cooperatives with support from government, ICA and various UN agencies including World Bank. And the members of these cooperatives are recently graduated health professionals who had been retrenched in public sector. Their service was cheaper. Even then, clinics have become financially self-reliant. Apart from this, the cooperative members train other health workers at one-third of its cost in public health schools. In Cameroon, some employees of a liquidated parastatal cooperative development agency established an association called Association des Auditeurs et Formateurs des Cooperatives. It's a French term, otherwise known as AAFCOOP. They provide training, audit, and business advisory services to the cooperatives. AAFCOOP, otherwise known as AFCOOP, now provides technical assistance to cooperatives and similar groups. And finally, the last example with regard to employment creation in trade, transport and services is the Kilimanjaro Mountain Guides forming a cooperative to offer the service directly to overseas agents and thus avoiding exploiting interference of local tour agents. This venture has considerably increased the income of its member guides. This cooperative had also developed a saving scheme enabling the members to spread and keep their income from the short tourist season to the rest of the year. Next one, ESOP type enterprises and workers takeover. ESOP, otherwise known as Employment Stock Ownership Plan, actually it was started in 1974 in USA for enabling workers to buy shares in the employer company. It was designed as a device to help the rank and file employees access the capital denied to them individually. It helps them to use credit and productivity of their company to raise loan from banks and thus to buy capital stock from the company. The company in turn will use the fresh money to acquire capital equipment for expansion. It was a method followed in America where the employees within the organization got an opportunity to access the capital of the concern by buying the shares. Earlier they were not allowed to buy the shares of the company, but through this program the employees can acquire shares of the concern. And by that, finally the company is earning benefit because their shares are purchased by the employees, so it adds to their capital. In Europe also, ESOPs operate through a legal device called ESOP trust, set up by the company and sometimes by the employees of the same company. This trust is to hold the shares purchased from private shareholders on behalf of the company. The loan availed to purchase the shares are paid back by the company and the respective shares are allocated to the employee's account in ESOP trust. Federal government granted tax preference to these schemes. The ESOP system that was started in America helps to broaden the capital base of US companies. ESOP has served different purposes. They are providing employee beneficial schemes and some other to privatize government agencies, yet other to prevent the immediate closure of a business or to buy company from departing or retiring owners. Sometimes the ESOP used as a management defense against hostile takeovers. ESOP is a scheme grown much beyond the initial concept of its promoters. Apart from providing accessibility to the employees to the capital of the concern, it also provides many other services, various beneficial schemes to the employees, helping other concerns which are on the verge of closure or liquidation likewise. In Africa, AFCOP was an example of ESOP. We have discussed about AFCOP in the previous session. And another case with regard to ESOP is cooperative des transporteurs des producteurs pétroliers. It's actually a French term of a Guinea Conakry is the name of the place, was formed by 36 workers by liquidating Office des Hydrocarbures de la Guinée. Actually, it's a French term. By liquidating this concern, 36 members joined together and formed a new cooperative known as this one. Earlier, the name of the firm was Office des Hydrocarbures de la Guinée, It is a parastatal monopoly of a fuel transport. It is a government organization. When it was liquidated, 36 workers from this concern joined together and formed this cooperative. It received a loan of 150 million FG. FG is the currency of that particular African country, otherwise known as France guineas, to start transportation of petroleum products. Additional petroleum products for private distributors. At present, after clearing the loan, it owns 6 additional second lorries and has hired 20 workers apart from members. It is the sole transporter of petroleum products in Africa. So these are some of the examples of ESOP type cooperatives in Africa. And we will discuss about some of the other type of non-traditional forms of cooperatives in the next session. Until then, please go through all these terms and try to understand the names with regard to the French origin and other non-African names origins. We will discuss about the further cases in the next session.